fans, and welcome once again to the Dude Cave. I'm Jason. It is Tuesday, the 25th of October 2016, and you're watching Comic Book Opinions. In the fourth episode of Comic Book Opinions, I will be bringing you opinions on some of the books that I've been reading lately. Today, I will be looking at Torchwood issue number 1. We have Revolution M.A.S.K issue number 1, and we have He-Man Thundercats issue number 1. So it's a real dose of nostalgia today. So I think it's about that time, isn't it? Yeah, it's opinion time. So here we go. First up, we have Torchwood issue number 1, written by the brother and sister team of John Barrowman and Caroline Barrowman, and with art by Antonio Fuso and Pasquale Quaglano. This is based off the TV show Torchwood. Now, the TV show, for those of you that don't know, because I'm not going to presume that everybody knows, this was a spin-off of Doctor Who. And when they brought Doctor Who back, I think it was like after season 2 finished, they brought this out. It may have been the start of season 3. I don't know, somewhere around there. It was a more adult version for Doctor Who. It's kind of set in that world, but a more adult version. The main character, Captain Jack Harkness, had been a companion for Doctor Who, but he had died, and when he was brought back, it was with the side effect, he can't die anymore, and so now he runs this organization called Torchwood that was set up by Queen Victoria to kind of deal with alien threats and protect the Earth, and they are based in Cardiff, in Wales, and there's a whole good reason why they're there. I really enjoyed the TV show. I wasn't a hardcore fan. Like since it finished, they've done books and they've done audios, but I've not listened or read any of them, and I've not rewatched any of the episodes since it was on TV. But I did enjoy it. It was a spin-off of Doctor Who, and it was good. And I really liked the last series they did was the season-long story called Miracle Day, and I liked that by the end of it we got a new team put together because. By the end of season 2, the team was pretty much killed off, and then by the end of the third season, which was which had the gimmick of they had the whole season on in 1 week. It was like I think it was like 5 episodes across the whole week, and in that season they killed off another of the main characters. So like by the end of it, there was only 2 Torchwood members left. By the time we got to like the last season they did, Miracle Day. But by the end of Miracle Day, we'd got a new team in place through the adventure, through the story. New characters had kind of come in. And I was really looking forward to reading this book and to kind of being reintroduced to those characters and seeing what happened next. However, when you open the book up, here we have like a synopsis of that this story is based after Exodus Code. Now, John Barrowman, who played Captain Jack, along with his sister Caroline, wrote this book as well as wrote Exodus Code. I gather that it was a book, not an audio, but that's just a guess. I don't know for sure. So I opened it up and instantly I'm like, okay, but I'm still expected to see the characters that I knew. But no, the only characters from the TV show in here are like Captain Jack, Gwen Cooper, and her husband Reese. Other than that, totally new characters, and I was lost. If I'd come into this and never ever having read or watched Torchwood, I think I would have got on better than I did because I'm expecting one thing and you get another, and I just felt lost for a lot of it. And I think if you're a hardcore Torchwood fan, you would have loved this because you'll have read the book and you'll have known what happened in Exodus Code, and you'll have come into this story and been like, yeah, I'm on board with this. But for somebody who isn't a hardcore Torchwood fan, who just enjoyed the TV show but hasn't watched it since or read anything else to do with it, I was kind of a bit lost, and I ended being a bit disappointed. A positive though, I always try and take one positive away. I did like the art, but other than that, yeah, no, disappointing, and I don't think I'll be getting the next issue. Well, I know I didn't get the next issue because I'm not going back to that. Another book I won't be getting the next issue of is Revolution M.A.S.K issue number 1. This is part of the event. This is a tie-in to the big event that IDW are doing. IDW, I think pretty much they do TV properties. So you've got X-Files, you've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you've got Ghostbusters, I think they do as well. You've got G.I. Joe, Transformers, them kind of things where they carry on those kind of deals. Their one idea with this Revolution story is they're going to take some of those properties. So we've got, I think it's Transformers, G.I. Joe, M.A.S.K, which is just starting, Action Man, Micronauts, and ROM, and they're putting them in the same Earth. They're the same Earth, they're the same universe, so they're all together. Now, Revolution is a series that's just introducing them in this shared world. This gives you a bit more backstory to M.A.S.K, who are going to be introduced to the story and then are going to have their own ongoing series in November, I believe. So coming into this, I remembered the cartoon. I had the action figures when I was a kid of the vehicles. What M.A.S.K was in the 80s, they were a toy line that came out. I think there was a comic from DC Comics as well as a TV show. And what it was, you had these two sides. M.A.S.K were the good guys, the bad guys were called Venom, and they had vehicles that would basically transform into other vehicles. For example, you had a helicopter that transformed into a jet. You had a car, like you see here. This was one of the main vehicles that would turn to kind of the thing would come up and it would start flying. It would have all these guns on it and stuff. That was the basic deal. So this story is introducing them. I opened this up full of hope. Really, I think out of the shows from the 80s, this was one of the ones I remembered least. I remembered the vehicles, but the actual characters, apart from like Matt Tracker, who is the leader of M.A.S.K, and Miles Mayhem, who's the leader of the villains, Venom, I couldn't really remember any of the other characters. So it was kind of with a bit of an empty slate. I came into this. I didn't, but I still was looking. I was still curious to see what they were going to do with it. But so I opened the book up, and we get the logo there. So things are looking like good here. And then we kind of open up the story where we're introduced to this team they're putting together. Now I love the paper of these IDW books, and the art here I liked really well. I really liked as well. And then we're kind of basically introduced to the team, and you kind of come to the realization they've changed Matt Tracker. They've changed him from being a white blonde guy to now he's a black man. Now I've got no problem with him being with the hot fact that, you know, I'm trying to think how I'm going to phrase this without sounding like a complete bigot and racist. I don't have an issue with the fact that he's black. It's not that he's black. It's that they fundamentally changed one of the main characters. Now, this book, it isn't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they've made movies, so you don't have to have been there in the beginning of Turtles to be a fan. That there've been that many cartoon shows and movies. Likewise with Transformers, you know, and G.I. Joe. There have been modern movies, so there's a whole new audience who might be into those. So, like, I can understand changing some of the characters, kind of updating some of the stuff so that it works better in the 21st century. I can get that. M.A.S.K isn't like that. Anybody buying this comic is only be buying it because they remember it from the 80s. They're not going to buy it because they're curious, you know? And so, like, you're going for nostalgia buzz when you release this book. By fundamentally changing one of the main characters so much, you're instantly killing that. I know for me, it killed that nostalgia buzz because this instantly becomes something else, and it was as that something else, it wasn't that good. And it's not the fact that they changed his color. They could have kept him as a white guy, but given him a big black beard and black hair tied back in a ponytail, and I would have still been the same kind of like complaint because they've changed him. And however silly that sounds, but you're going for that nostalgia buzz. You expected it to be, yet you know they're going to update a few things. But, you know, and the thing as well is like, I can see the argument, oh, wow, you know, it's the 21st century. We've got to have more diversity in our books. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. But there was already a black character in M.A.S.K that isn't in here. So you've kind of got rid of one and made somebody else a black character, got rid of one. How's that diversity? How's that making it better? You've axed one to get one. You've not gained anything, you know. Okay, it's a bigger character, but like I said, I only really remember the main characters. So you could have took that other black guy, Hondo McLean was his name, and you could have had him had a much bigger role in the story. and be a much bigger part, I wouldn't have minded, because I didn't have that greater memory of that character and have what role he played, and it would have still fundamentally been M.A.S.K. So I was disappointed, and I kind of, you get that they realize they're doing something pretty bad, because all the images then, like we get like the image here of the ongoing, and they've all got their helmets on. You look at the variants that they have here, and none of the variants show him without his helmet. So you kind of, you get, they know that this is going to be controversial. So yeah, that just killed any nostalgia buzz that I was going to get from this. So I was disappointed, and I don't think Revolution's going to be for me, nor is then first issue of M.A.S.K. So next up we have He-Man Thundercats #1 from DC Comics. This is written, 1 minute, by Rob David and Lloyd Goldfine, and drawn by Freddie E. Williams II. This, on the other hand, I loved. Now, this is how you do a nostalgia comic. The characters in this feel so authentic. They look like I remember them. The story that brings them together is brilliant. And there were some really good moments in this as well. So basically, the gist of the story is Monroe gets beaten by the Thundercats again. He goes back to his pyramid, and he calls upon the spirits of evil, and they're like, "No, we've done things your way. We're through doing things your way. Now we're going to do it our way. You keep getting your ass kicked by the Thundercats." Lionel has the Sword of Omens. We find another sword, the Sword of Power. We're going to transport you to where this sword is. You're going to get the sword. You're going to come back. You're going to kick the Thundercats' ass, and we're going to evil up this place. So they transport Third Earth and the Thundercats are like, what's happening? The planet's been moved. What's going on here? Monroe goes into a fight with Prince Adam, and he stabs Adam in the chest with the Sword of Power. Adam grabs the sword, says the oath, by the power of Grayskull, I am the power, and boof, he turns into He-Man, miraculously heals. It's just such a badass moment. I just absolutely loved that. It was awesome. And then he throws down with Monroe. And by the end of the issue, we have a nice little twist that kind of, I'm really excited to see where we're going to go next. But yeah, I just loved this. It was so much fun. Everything felt authentic. It was everything that I remembered from as when I was a kid, to the way the characters look. The art I really enjoyed, and the story as well. Like I say, I thought it was just a really cool idea. The one things they got in common, yeah, Lionel's got the Sword of Omens, He-Man's got the Sword of Power. I thought that was really clever to kind of link those two things. So yeah, this was brilliant. This is how you do a nostalgia comic. So there we go. That is another video done. I will be back hopefully in the next few days with another comic book opinions. I've got a few more books I kind of want to speak on. And then my next video then will be Friday with a haul video, and then probably maybe next Monday with another opinions video. If I've got any more opinions to share, that is. We will see. Anywho, all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching my video. I appreciate it. I've been Jason, coming to you from the Dude Cave. It's the 25th of October 2016. You've been watching Comic Book Opinions. Keep reading, and bye for now.